Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Amy. I am a mom of two. I live in the Midwest and I am on a journey to become 100% debt-free. And I am sharing that journey here and on Instagram. If you have not subscribed, please take a second and subscribe. It means so much to me and it really helps out my channel. So today it's going to be a little bit different because it is Debt-Free Friday, so I'm going to be going over the week that we had. But in addition, I did also want to do a recap video on January as well. I figured we could probably just combine it into one video instead of doing two. So first I'm going to start with the week. So today is January 29th, so it is the last Friday of January. So I started this week with $59,950. That was at 54.72% paid off. And that was from last week. We met that milestone of under 60,000 last week, which was super exciting. As I mentioned in that video, I did make a little bit of a bigger payment last week to meet that goal early. So this week, my payment was only $1,000 in comparison to my other payments this month. That is a little bit smaller. So my ending debt for this week and for the month is $58,950, which is 55.48% paid off. So we did actually get into a new percentage goal or new percentage paid off this month. So that is really exciting. And then for the side hustle for this week, we only had a few. So I had first $1.69 from Etsy. I did sell one item last week. And then I sold $12 on Poshmark. So funny story about this, actually. I had listed a bunch of items probably like a year ago. And what I do on Poshmark is I typically will list them and I will like actively share them for a while. And then I usually will just leave them listed and not actively share them and just kind of leave them there. And I keep them all in like a bin in my basement. And then sometimes I'll randomly just sell some items. So that's kind of what happened this week. I randomly sold a sweater that I've had on there for literally a year. It's been in storage. So that was kind of exciting. A $12 that I did not expect. So I sold that sweater and got that $12. And then the last one, I did end up doing Instacart. If you remember last week, I mentioned that I was not sure if I was gonna be able to do Instacart this week, but I did get out for a little bit. So total for side hustle income this week is $95.08. So that is definitely on the bigger side this month. And then also to close out this month, I figured we could go over my side hustle income for the whole month. So my goal this month was $250. That is definitely a higher goal for me. I'm feeling like next month I'll probably take that down a notch because I've just been feeling a little bit burned out with doing some side hustles and I just kind of need a break. So I'm thinking that I will probably cut that maybe to like 150 next month. But for this month, I did have a bunch of different side hustle incomes for this month. So the first is Etsy. I made $9.39 on Etsy. Then Achievement, which if you're new to my channel or haven't watched my videos, Achievement is an app that I use. It's like a cashback app, but you basically like sync your Apple Watch or your Fitbit and it gives you money for like recording your activity. So that's one. I typically don't make a lot of money on that one. I make maybe like $10 every 4, 5, 6 months, but free money, not complaining. And then Poshmark, that was this week. I made $12 on that total. And then Surveys on the Go, which is an app that my husband and I both use. So this is actually the only one that my husband had earned some of this. I think like $22 was from him because he had gotten like he had to record his food for a week and then he made $20. And then I also had a shampoo that I had tried out and that gave me $25. So that was the bulk of that money. And then next, Facebook Marketplace. I had sold a couple of furniture items earlier this month and that was a total of $50. And then Instacart, I made a total of $159.84. So I actually have not added this up, but I'm pretty confident that I met that goal. So let me add that up quick. So I have been kind of doing something different with Instacart. I was trying originally to go out like once a week. Now I'm kind of doing like every other week just because I've been kind of getting burned out. So, okay, total 288.63. So that is awesome. Almost $300 in side hustle income this month, which is great. Definitely met my goal of 250. And again, just keep watching these videos in the coming weeks. I'm not exactly sure what's gonna happen with my side hustle income, but I'm definitely kind of trying to focus a little bit less on it going forward just because I'm getting a little bit burnt out. And Instacart is really fun for me and it's something that I enjoy doing, and I never want to do it and make it feel not as fun. So yeah, I'm cutting back a little bit on that, but still will definitely be doing some other side hustles. So that being said, we do have some other forms to go through just for the month recap. So here's my debt freedom tracker. I do sell this in my Etsy shop. If you guys are curious, I sell a couple of things. I sell my monthly budget sheet as well, which is definitely my most popular. A lot of you guys really enjoy that. So just 2 squares this time. And then I have been just keeping track of the payments up here just for my own sake so that I can kind of see when I was hitting these goals. And also it just makes it easier for me to know where to stop coloring because I kind of can get lost sometimes. So this is great. I almost have filled in this entire first row. So February will definitely be a little bit less on the debt payment side just because, yeah, I did not make, or I will not have as much extra income in February, so it'll be a little bit less than it was before. So this is my debt tracker spreadsheet. So I just put the date, today's date, and I figured I would just go over this a little bit. So this is all of the starting balances of all of my current loans. So I have 13 separate loans that are all just like smaller loans that are from grad school and from my undergrad. I believe when I first started, I had like 17. So I have paid some of them off in full. And I've also changed the way we've paid over the last few months as well. So when I first started my debt-free journey, I was doing the Snowball method, which I think is a fantastic way to do it. But I don't know. I was just feeling like since my interest rates are so different, like when I had first made the switch from the debt Snowball to the Avalanche, I did have some that were even higher than this. I had some that were in the 6, and I think I had one that was even in the 7% range. And it just felt like I didn't need those small wins anymore. Like I was so motivated to pay off this debt that I didn't feel like I needed those small wins. And I think that it's totally a personal decision. If you feel like in the beginning you really need those small wins, I think the debt Snowball is an awesome way to go. But at some point I just kind of switched and decided to switch to the Avalanche method. So this is the way that I line them up on this sheet. And all of my loans currently are federal, so I'm actually not paying any interest right now, but I do still record my interest rates so that I know which ones I'm going to be paying off. So actually none of these have changed, just because I'm still paying this bigger grad school loan. So yes, I will end up probably paying off most of my grad school before I get to my undergrad, which I know is kind of a little bit backwards, but those loans just tend to have a little bit more interest or a higher interest rate for me. So I don't really feel a certain type of way about like needing to pay off my undergrad first or anything. Like I just want to be debt free in whatever way. And I've kind of talked about this too on my Instagram and on videos like this before. I'm not like stuck to the Avalanche method. I might switch back. I've actually been thinking about trying to maybe just get rid of some of these like really small ones just to get rid of them. But for now, I'm just kind of sticking with the Avalanche and we'll see what happens. I think that a lot of times we try to put ourselves in like these boxes in the debt-free journey, and it doesn't have to be like that. You can just do what feels right to you, and you don't really need to like have an explanation exactly. So my total right now for this one went down to $12,307. So Obviously, that was where all of my payments had gone, as to this larger loan for my grad school, and it's now down to $12,307. I don't have any minimum payments right now, and I'm not sure what my minimum payment will technically be once the interest starts accruing again, because I have paid so much off since the interest freeze, so I'm not recording the minimum payments for right now. And also, even though these are technically 13 different loans, it really is just one loan in Great Lakes eyes. So I only have like the one minimum payment. I don't have a minimum payment for every single one. I mean, I'm sure that I do, but they don't ever tell me that. So I'm probably just going to skip this for now, because I just did this at the beginning of the year. My total starting is $64,700. That was my starting for January 1st. Not my total starting. My total starting was over $130,000. If you're new here, I will actually link my debt confession video up here if you're new and you're curious about kind of like where my debts have come from and how far I've come. So I will link that up here if you're curious. That is a great video to watch if you're new here. So current debt then would be the $58,850. Oh no, $950, sorry. And that is 55.48% paid off. And debt paid to date, so that's just for this month, since this is the first month of the year, so that's $5,750 this month, and that is a change of 4.35%. Oh, and I guess 55.48 down here too. So yes, so I did get some questions about how we were able to pay off this much this month, because we have been making definitely bigger payments than we usually do, and a huge reason of that is two things. So the stimulus check, obviously we did put a portion of our stimulus check towards our loans. We did allocate only some of it. We didn't put all of it towards our loans. So we did allocate some of the stimulus check towards our loans. And then we also had a 5th paycheck. So I think I talked about this on last Debt Free Friday and maybe even the one before, but my husband and I both get paid bi-weekly. So there is like, I think 2 months of the year where we get a 5th paycheck. We never budget for the 5th paycheck because we budget based on 4 paychecks. And so anytime we have that extra, we decide what to do with that money. And obviously, because we're on a debt-free journey, that is what we ended up doing with that money. So we are not normally able to pay $5,750. That's actually pretty much like our income for the month, usually on a typical month. So yes, that is not normal for us, but has been awesome this month, and we've been able to make a lot of progress. So the last sheet that I want to go over is the yearly debt tracker. So I actually am gonna put this on my fridge with my, with this. I keep them both on my fridge, and just to like keep it in the front of my mind at all times, like what we're doing here, and to stay motivated, because I've definitely been feeling the burnout lately. It is very real for me right now. It's been over a year on this journey, and it's just kind of weighing on me a little bit. So we have to take the small wins and try to keep motivated as best we can. So we started January with $64,700. We're ending at $58,950, which is awesome. So that's a total payment of $5,750 in January, which is great. So if you have not watched my goals video for 2020, which I'll also link in a card up here, my goal is to get our loans under $40,000. That's looking like it definitely is a possibility for us. We do have a couple of other goals this year. So unlike last year, debt payoff is not our only goal. So we do have another goal of saving up money for a car. I will be doing more videos on that as we start to kind of transition into that goal. It's really been hard for me to kind of move away from the debt freedom journey and kind of move into like other goals, because it's just, I want to get rid of the debt so bad, but like we really also need a car. So realistically, I know that we do need to actually start like actively really putting money aside for that. We've been putting a few $100s a month, but our goal is to set aside $10,000 this month. So what we have been setting aside so far in 2021 has not been enough to meet that goal. So at some point, probably like April, May, June, we might more so transition into that goal than the debt payoff goal. We'll still be paying on our debt, but it might just be a little bit less. I'm kind of giving myself a few months in the beginning of the year to really just maintain my focus on the debt and then kind of transition. So if you guys have any tips on that, feel free to leave them below if you have kind of had to transition in and out of a debt-free journey. And I know a lot of people have that happen where they have to kind of shift goals around, and I'm definitely not the only one. So if you have any tips for me, please leave them below. Anyway, that is all I have for you guys for this Debt-Free Friday. This is a little bit longer, so if you are still sticking around, please leave a comment below and let me know that you watched this whole video, because I feel like it was a little bit of rambling on. So if you have not already, please subscribe and definitely hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. And I look forward to next week where we can talk more about side hustles and how we have paid off debt. And if you are on a debt-free journey, please let me know below how you're doing on your journey this year and how January went for you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.